flame on max. I'ma keep it going, that ain't none that. Gonna keep the flame on max. I'ma keep it going, that ain't none that. Going, that ain't none. Keep the flame on, gotta keep the flame on, gotta keep it tight, keep it tight, keep the flame on.
Hello and welcome to the University of Worcester Arena. We've got the second leg in the BBL Play-Off Quarter-Finals as the league champions, the Leicester Riders, take on the Bristol Flyers. Dan Routledge and Ant Rowe with you here at Worcester. And Ant, Leicester with a big lead. They had a tremendous performance in the second half of that first leg up in Newcastle, a 29-point advantage. Most people will think it's in the books. You know Rob Paternostre very well. He won't think it's in the books yet.
Yeah, he will be just as nervous, Dan, as if this was a one-point game. And I think he's got every right to be nervous as well. Bristol Flyers, don't forget, they have beaten this Leicester Riders team by 26, which is within one shot of the deficit here. So it's not impossible here. However, when you look at that second half performance, the Leicester Riders were just so much more clinical and so much more professional, and you really saw the cracks come in there of that Bristol Flyers team.
Well, earlier I was able to catch up with the two coaches ahead of tonight's game to see what their thoughts were. Well, Rob, obviously you'd rather be in this position than not, but slightly strange coming into a game knowing you have a 29-point lead.
Yeah, very strange. Awkward is how I want to put it. But, we got to concentrate on each possession today. Speaking to the guys before the game, we're a team that's won a lot of games this year. I think we're going for number 30 today. So, we know what it takes to win games. And going into this game, the mindset is no different from the start.
And presumably you've shown the guys the video of the last time you played Bristol at home where they got away from you in the fourth quarter and ended up winning in the 20s, just to remind them it's possible.
No question. I think that's motivation enough. Playing that game maybe about a month ago or so, it disappeared. The lead disappeared fast, and all of a sudden it was a big number. So we understand. Our guys have been awesome this year. They're committed. They're focused. It's been a long couple days, no question about it. But we got to go out there and deliver one more today.
And obviously a relatively quick turnaround and some travel in between. Where are the team at physically?
Yeah, pretty good. We like where we're at. We thought we looked pretty good the other night physically. I thought in the fourth quarter we looked pretty fresh, but we'll see. It's a lot of traveling, a lot of hotels. So, it is what it is. We just have to deal with it. Everybody's dealing with it now. Ali Frazier's still out today. Could be out for a few more games too if we advance. But other than that, everybody's ready to go.
Good luck in the game.
Thank you.
Well, Andreas, obviously a difficult spot that you're in. What's the plan of attack for how you go about this game?
Well, the margin is immaterial. We want a good performance. That's the focus. I talked to you last time about we've got to defend, rebound, generate good looks. We did it for about 20 minutes, and we're there competing with them. And right now, it's no worry about the points difference or anything like that. We want to get a win, but before we do that, we just got to make sure 5 minutes at a time compete and do the things that we want on the court.
And presumably you've watched it back since. It was night and day really, that first half to second half.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what we talked about. We did good things, but the thing is, when you're playing a team like Leicester, you've got to be consistent. And when you allow a team in the third quarter to score out of 14 possessions, score 13 of them, it's going to be very difficult. Just picking the ball off the net, playing 5-on-5 against that type of defense as well. It's going to be very difficult. But we did good positive things, and that's what we're looking to do today for a longer duration. 40, it has to be a 40-minute game.
And in some ways, is the pressure off, and actually your guys might be a little looser today?
We were saying before the game, the first game, that there's no pressure. If anything, the pressure was with them. They're the league champions. They're the team that is expected to go through this matchup. I think for us today it's just about enjoying playing together, being tough, and see where we are after the first quarter, and just go a quarter at a time.
Well, thanks a lot. Good luck in the game.
Thank you.
Well, the Flyers in that game, they won by 26. They were actually 7 down in the third quarter. So the last 15 minutes or so, they put up the sort of run that they're going to need today. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen occasionally.
Yeah, this is why we love sport, because crazy things can happen, right? And Bristol Flyers are going to have to play a near-perfect game. But let's take a look at this Leicester Riders lineup. Gino Crandell, MVP candidate, playing that stellar performance, 21 points from him, and he was great.
And if we have a look at the Bristol lineup, I mean, really, they're going to need a bit more offense here. They didn't score enough.
They didn't, Dan. No, you only had 2 players in double digits there. Lockett had 16 points, but it took him 23 shots to get that 16. So they just need more performances from their guys, from their very talented offensive guys on this Bristol Flyers roster.
Well, they certainly will do. So that is the 2 lineups for today's game. And the British basketball community was rocked in recent days following the death of Dijon Allen Jordan, who played for both the Cheshire Phoenix and the London Lions, and we are going to mark that passing at the tender age of just 27 with a moment of appreciation for his life. Well, the 2 teams now will get set to get us underway here at the University of Worcester Arena. The Leicester Riders and the Bristol Flyers will take the knee as part of the ongoing message against racism and all sorts of inequality wherever they may be. And, well, for one of these teams, it is going to be the last time in what has been a somewhat shortened but very long season. It's slightly bizarre because obviously we were late starting with all of the issues of COVID, and there's been so many games rammed in, and at times we wondered whether we would get here, but get here we have, and it is the league champions who get us underway. And that, I was about to say, is what we've seen a lot of this year from the Leicester Riders. Nelson Henry with good footwork in the low post. He doesn't normally miss those.
No, 80-90% of the time he'll convert those down, and good sign from Bristol early on. Yes, it's just one play, but one play can start the momentum and changing their fortunes here going forward.
Well, here's Wiltshire for the Flyers. Dozy is in the low post, goes down to him. Spinning along the baseline. Nice work from Daniel Edozie for 2.
Nice entry to this game for Daniel Edozie on both ends of the floor. Gets the stop and then gets the score down low.
Well, a different change for Coach Kapoulas with Edozie starting. He came off the bench 2 days ago. Crandall gets his own rebound. No, nice dish down to Nelson Henry, and this time he makes no mistake.
Wow, it's affecting the game in other ways, and an offensive rebound there and a beautiful bounce pass there to Nelson Henry with an easy finish.
Nice pass and an easy dunk inside for Delpesh.
Wow, really encouraging start. This Bristol Flyers team, that would be their main criticism this year, is have they been able to score the ball enough? And the answer is no, unfortunately, for them, but really encouraging start for them.
Towards the end of the season, last 3 or 4 games, he did put up a few big numbers, but you're right, over the course of the season, that's not quite enough. Here's Nelson Henry going to the hook, and, well, 3 touches for him, just 1 bucket so far.
And that's what you would expect. If you've got a lineup with Edozie and Delpesh, you want things very, very difficult inside, shots challenged, and nothing easy for this Leicester Riders offense.
Here's Mockford. Driving along the baseline, good finish.
Wow, this Bristol Flyers team look loose, don't they? 3 offenses here with conversions already.
Here's Heron for 3, in and out. Edozie with the rebound. Wiltshire for 3. Back iron.
Josh Wiltshire, an X-Factor player. When he's shooting the ball well, this Bristol Flyers team is very, very dangerous.
Here's Herod, going the opposite way to the screen, getting all the way to the basket.
Nice move from Mustafa Heron. That quick first step there, and nice finish with the left.
Delpesh calling for his point guard. Wiltshire getting into the lane, dumps it off, and there's a foul from behind on Corey Johnson.
That's good work there from Josh Wiltshire. He's as we know, he's not the largest in stature when you compare him to the point guards in the league, but the penetration there creates so much there for his team, and all you've got to have is willing, active big men with their hands ready. And Delpeche was on that occasion.
You must have been in this scenario a few times, a big first leg win, and then how do you attack it on the second leg as a player? We know what Rob's going to be like. We know what Andreas is going to be like, but as a player,
I think it's hard. I mean, I always got really motivated for the games that I knew there was a possibility I could lose. That for me was the motivator. So, but I had a coach, Pat Nostral, that wouldn't allow me to approach a game like this. He would be even more tense, even more stressed approaching a game such as this. So it was contagious in your mind thinking that. And let's not forget as well, this is a team now that are looking to continue to get better, and this is another game where you can practice and get better as a team.
Here's Heron getting all the way to the back. Oh, he's missed it. Oh, he did the hard work and didn't finish the play.
Well, one of those ones where maybe a lot of travelling in those legs and unfamiliar hotel beds maybe, but either way, there's no elevation in that shot.
Crandall for three, and he knocks down the triple.
Wow. Gino Crandall puts any doubt to rest there. Bristol Flyers as well have to come up with that rebound. Yes, it was a bit of an unorthodox miss there from Heron, but Bristol Flyers have to play a near-perfect game here.
Wiltshire driving in, foul is called. I think it's on Johnson. If it is, that's both the fouls in the game on him. And that will mean an early move on the bench, surely, for Rob Paternostro.
I think it's all about how you respond here after a disappointing loss. And Wiltshire was one of those guys, I think he would look at that last game and be disappointed in his performance. He was 2 for 11, and you already see in this game how much he's impacted the game. In 3 minutes, 20 seconds gone, he's penetrated, he's found his way to the free throw line.
And there is that substitution we were expecting. Anderson in for Johnson. Here's Lee, top of the key for three, off the back of the ring. Mockford pulls up for three. That's a very Ben Mockford shot, and your defense is in trouble when those go in.
It really is. He loves that curl off the left side there, and kind of that cut back left three-pointer shot that we've been accustomed to see over the years. Nothing but net.
Lee, well, they sagged off him. Tipped down by Anderson to Heron for two.
A couple of those 50-50 balls now that Flyers haven't won. Those rebounds they've got to secure here. One shot for the Leicester Riders. Do not want to give this team two.
Mockford fires up another one. That's good as well.
Wow, Ben Mockford. Difficult shot there, high degree of difficulty, but doesn't matter. And again, it goes back to what you were saying, Dan. The pressure's just not as evident today.
Rocket with the rebound. Cross court to Mockford. This one's going up. Not this time. Oh, nice pass back. Great fast break by the Riders.
It's great team basketball there, and something we've seen time and time again from this Riders offense. And the easy finish from William Lee.
Randall playing the defense on Wiltshire. Mockford calling for the screen. Goes to Wiltshire instead. Dozy gets it away quick.
It's a nice move there, and Flyers showing us an array of offense right now. A few shots made from the perimeter, and then a post up down low of a Dozy.
Nelson Henry. Cross to Lee. We think they had 30 points in the first half, the Flyers, on what day was it? Monday. And they've got 17 here in 6 minutes.
And the fluidity of their offense is night and day as well. It just seems so much easier. I don't know if that's a reflection of the Riders' defense, but either way, the offense is way more productive in this Flyers right now.
Wiltshire for three. Rebound Lee. Aaron gets into the lane. It doesn't quite drop, but he will shoot 2.
Good work there from Mustafa Heron. Again, just being aggressive there and attacking the defender. He's got that pull-up in his game as well, which makes Ben Mockford have to commit there. And you put your hands on the offensive player like that, it's an easy call for the ref.
Well, Justin Breaker, who was the change in the starting lineup from the first leg, comes into the game for the first time.
With Justin Baker as well, you're getting some additional offense there. He's a very versatile big and good basketball IQ as well. He likes that three-point shot. That's his sort of stretch big in that sense.
Washington in for Heron. Flyers by 4. Riders by 25 overall. Coach Kapula signaling horns from the sideline. 2 high screens and a Dozy rolling to the basket.
Great work there, and that's Josh Wilshere to a tee, orchestrating the offense, and he just looks so much more confident already in this game, and a nice little drop-down pass to Dozy for the easy finish.
Washington with the mismatch takes the 3, but it's off the mark. Dozy's out in front, but Baker keeps it. Dozy's still got the mismatch. Blocked by Crandall!
Wow, Gino Crandall came from nowhere, and Daniel Dozy thinks he's got another easy layup. And the point guard says, not today.
Now Henry takes the green, the low wall, checks in for the Riders.
Oh, the interesting one on that was it's the 2 guards back and the centre up, and between them they managed to snuff him out. So he's fired over him and thinks, as you say, an easy one.
Well, it never feels great when you get blocked down, but I can't tell you how infuriating it is as a big when a little so-called little guy or a guard comes down and blocks your shot. It's an all-time low for me.
Maurice Walker into the game for the first time for Leicester. Oh, nice bounce pass, and Washington lays it in.
Wow, that's just fast break 101. Ball barely touches the floor. Pass, score.
Dozy back to Wiltshire, sets himself, squares up to Walker. No way past him, spinning. Good defense from Mo Walker. Here's Anderson running the floor as he does so well, cleaned up by Lee.
Wow, that's a good push there and a good pass from Ridgely, and Jamal Anderson doesn't convert the play, but he's got teammates that are running the floor, and again, another offensive rebound for the Leicester Riders.
4 in the game so far. We've got 9 second chance points as the offensive foul is called. Dozy. Well, actually, I think it's the push-off, sorry, for Lockett that was called. Crandall down to Walker, spins and Jim almost brings the basket down.
What an introduction to this game, and he started off how he carried on last game. A formidable performance from him, 16 points, 6 rebounds in game 1. It was a huge boost for this Leicester Riders team.
Very efficient scoring as well.
Missed only 1 shot.
Given the extra minutes because of the Fraser injury, but taking full advantage of it. And 3 out of the mark, off the mark, sorry, by the Flyers, and away come the Riders. Crandall getting all the way to the basket. Ndombe misses. Tipped back out, comes to Mockford. Mockford under pressure, throws, oh, blown dunk! Here's Valzon driving hard. Oh, he misses a layup.
A lot of easy shots missed in and around the rim. Saw it there, consecutive plays, a missed dunk with a missed layup.
The Flyers had 17 in about 5.5 minutes. They've had 2 in the next 4. We're level at 19. Mockford creates some room, hits the shot.
Nice controlled shot there from Ben Mockford. A simple pump fake because he's made 2 3-pointers. Connor Washington has to contest that and run out to him. An easy pull-up jump shot there for Mockford.
Crandall with the spin, keeps the dribble alive, gets all the way through, and is eventually fouled.
Trickery and craft of the dribble for Gino Crandall. He's done some damage in there already today.
4.7 left in the first quarter as Leicester have the ball from the end. Washington takes the 3 and misses it. Well, a fairly loose first quarter, that one. Flyers starting really well offensively. Leicester just chugging along nicely. It's a 2-point game.
Yeah, and I like what the Bristol Flyers have showed us offensively. They look so much more confident and concise with what they're trying to do offensively. And it's been, they've scored the ball in an array of ways as well. Ben Mockford 8 points already, and they've got the ball inside to their bigs as well, Delpesh and Ndozi. But I can't help that the cynicism in me wants to say that the intensity on defense isn't there as it was in game 1 via the Leicester Riders. Now, whether that changes, I'm not quite sure, but at the moment it's working out in Bristol Flyers' favour because the more confident they get, the more that belief will come for them.
As we look back over the story of this first quarter, and really from a Leicester point of view, we talked about their defence. At the offensive end, it's crashing the boards. 4 offensive rebounds, 9 second chance points. If Flyers clean that up, it's not guaranteed Leicester would be at 10, but they'd be lower than 19, and then they would have chipped a fair chunk of it away here in the first quarter.
I agree. It's not good enough just to get a stop. You've got to get a stop and secure the rebound. And I think that's what Coach Kapunas will be most disappointed with, because when you start a team with Ndozi and Delpesh at the 4 and 5, you expect to get defensive rebounds. That's a strategy why you would implement those 2 to start the game. So I think Coach Kapunas will be upset that they've given up as many offensive rebounds as they have.
BBL Play-Off Quarter-Final. Flyers made a 2-point lead.
Raphael Thomas Edwards will inbound it for the Flyers as we look to get things underway here in the second quarter. Over to Baker. Trying to get it to his point guard. Keeps it in the end and takes the shot himself.
Wow, good move there from Baker. He pretty much created it all himself there with a nice turnaround jump shot.
Crandall to Washington. Falzon in the corner. Hits the triple.
Wow, Aaron Falzon, we've seen him come off the bench and either ignite energy on the defensive end or make shots.
Thomas Edwards using his speed to get to the rim.
Thomas Edwards just loves this matchup, doesn't he? You can just tell he has a hunger to play against Leicester. Of course, he's from Leicester, and he really relishes this matchup.
Batted away by Baker. And Dumby trying to thread the needle to Delpesh and doing exactly that.
Great pass there, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to take gambles here. You've got to make plays, like that, and look for perfection, because that's an easy 2 points on the board there in less than a couple ticks off the clock.
Falzon. Washington is open from deep. Off the mark.
Good defensive rebound that time, but that's what you've got to be cautious of your Bristol Flyers. They've already left or not located Falzon, and Connor Washington is the guy again you do not want to give open looks to on the 3-point line.
Mockford, top of the key.
Kind of left his hand a little bit weird there. He's really, really good at making that shot, curling off the screen.
And Dombe arguing it's on the floor. He's not arguing it's a foul. He's arguing whether he got it done in time before the shot. Referee's going to talk it over, and he's picked the ball up. It's 2 shots.
Good aggressive move there from Jamal Anderson, attacking middle. I thought Jamal Anderson had a really good game 1, and you look at his production offensively. You know, 1 point you think, oh, you know, nothing that's going to blow you away. But I thought defensively he was brilliant again, just active and being in the right place at the right time, and just he added to that struggle of the Bristol Flyers offense, especially in that second half.
Well, they do an all-defensive team. You've got to feel he's going to be in the 5 for that, don't you, this season?
Well, I'd like to for someone to give me a valid reason why he's not in it. And that's something that's not natural to him as well. And in all honesty, when I played against Jamal Anderson, I was quite happy with playing against him and matching up against him. But he has just got better and better, you know, physically and mentally at that defensive position. And it's something he's learned and developed over the years.
Behind Domi. Eventually Crandall gets his hands on it. 2 of them at him. Screen from Walker. Oh my goodness. Out to Washington for 3. Oh, that one needed an assist.
It did indeed. It was the fake of the pass that eventually got through.
There's Walker. Well, we haven't really seen much of Mo Walker in a Leicester shirt. Signed for them 2 summers ago. Got injured very early on. I think it might have even been the pre-season. Needed a hamstring operation. Sat him out for a year. Came back this year. The other hamstring goes, gets the same operation. They figure he'd be out for another year, but he's managed to get back to fitness, and here he is playing a part in the playoffs. And he's certainly a very effective player if they can just get him out there and do what he does best.
That's the greatest story as well about Mo Walker and that, Dan. He's not just here participating, he's making a difference here. He's impacting the game, and he's got a role to play here.
Balzon with the offensive rebound and put back.
Offensive rebound, just the Achilles heel of this Flyers defense at the moment. They've got to secure that defensive rebound.
Thomas Edwards for 3. Lockett trying to rip it away. Walker diving on the floor. Still a scrummage in there. I thought they were going to set up the rock and roll there for a second.
I was waiting for it too, Dan. It's this playoff basketball right there. It was waiting for the ref to blow a whistle here, but no one really regained possession, and there wasn't really ever 2 clear players that had it. Good hustle from all of the participants involved there.
Well, the possession arrow gets Leicester the ball back. On to Walker. Looking to go against Dozy, who gets a little slap at him. And it'll be 2 free throws.
Well, always the biggest compliment as a big man is when you've got that one-on-one move, if the help's coming or the big has to foul you. And that's what's happened. Mo Walker's caught the ball down low on the block, and Baker was the one who grappled him before.
And he's a very different player to, well, both the centres that Leicester have. I was about to say Fraser, who is obviously replacing minutes-wise with Fraser's injury, but when you're guarding Nelson Henry and then he goes out and Walker comes in, the mindset changes there.
Yeah, it's pick your poison, I think, in that sense. Is, do you want to be finessed or do you want to be brutally physical bodied up? It's a tough cover either way. And I think that's why, credit to the Leicester Riders who've been patient and helped rehab Walker to get to this position.
Well, presumably that was the idea in the beginning of the season, that it was going to be basically a tag team, Nelson Henry and Walker. And we might get it right now at the end of the season.
Well, they say good things come to those who wait. They've certainly did that.
Lockett at the free throw line. Makes them both. And it's a 1-point lead for Coach Kapoulis and his team.
Well, Lockett was that guy, the leading scorer for them with 16, and look, he shot the ball not particularly well at 7 for 23, but I think I got to give Lockett credit for at least having that.
That is nice from Walker, and Adozie fouls him, he'll shoot too. And the thing about it is, Adozie is a big, strong man. It is not easy to move him back and then spin around him. Many have tried, and not many have succeeded in that.
No, Walker's proven to be a big problem, and well, you know what this does is I think it sends a message out to the remaining of the playoff fixtures here, and I'm prematurely saying that the Riders are going to progress, of course, but I think having that equation with Mo Walker in the mix here makes this Riders team ever more dangerous.
Of course, made his name in the BBL in this building for the Wolves. It was tremendous that first season he played for Worcester. And this is both free throws, but Anderson gets them another go at it. Anderson in the corner, converts the second chance points himself.
Wow, huge rebound from Anderson, and a deserved three-point shot there.
You reckon Coach Kapoulis might mention offensive rebounds in this timeout?
I think so, Dan, and again, he's got to be incredibly disappointed with, I think, his team's response there. And I think when you're a team as well who are down a substantial margin, 29 points, I think, you know, hard work and effort it shouldn't even come into the equation. That should be a mandatory or an automatic response from you know, a heavy loss.
Well, 14 second chance points. Leicester have 7 rebounds off those 7 offensive rebounds. And the interesting stat on this, I mentioned it the other day, Leicester actually are last in the league in offensive rebound, just 8.6, so they're almost at their average here. But what they do very well is turn those offensive rebounds into points. They're second in the league in second chance points, and the reason they're last in the league in offensive rebounds is because they're first in the league in field goal percentage.
I was going to say they shot the ball very well in game 1 here, and they only had 6 offensive rebounds in game 1, and they had 0 second chance points there, and you know, a completely different approach to this game.
Yeah, offensive rebounds is always that slightly strange stat in that if you're doing well in it, it means you're not shooting the ball very well. But if the second chance points are 2 to 1, then you're doing very well with the offensive rebounds. Here's Thomas Edwards, and he knocks down the triple.
Oh, big shot, Thomas Edwards again stepping up to the occasion.
Anderson. Here comes Walker, what he was trying to. I think Crandall's got called for a moving screen in the lane. It's his second foul. Leicester have 4 fouls in the ball game and 2 players on 2. Well, the one who got there first has come back into the game, Corey Johnson. Wiltshire penetrates in, drops it off to Delpesh for 2.
Wiltshire's done a really good job of creating for others. Gives him another assist there.
5 in the game so far. Washington steps into the 3. Lob down court to Thomas Edwards, who just keeps it in play. Foul called off the ball on Thomas Edwards. We've seen players over the years, the bigger players, start licking their lips when Connor Washington's on their back. It's not quite as easy as it might appear.
It really isn't. He was an absolute nightmare in practice. He's someone who really gets up for that challenge as well. He likes to guard the bigger guys down low, and Thomas Edwards actually got away perhaps with an offensive foul before that with a push-off.
Here's Heron for 3. Nelson Henry trying to grab the rebound, but Bristol have it. Turned over. Heron drives in, nice finish off the glass.
Really nice move there from Mustafa Heron to square up, see where the defender was, nice jab step, and then hard dribble into the middle with a strong finish on his strong hand.
Mockford running around the screen, dish it down to Delpesh, who makes no mistake this time.
Mockford this time curling off that screen, going to the right side. Doesn't like to shoot it as much coming off that side, and is able to make that perfect pass down low to Delpesh.
Mismatch inside here. Rogers trying to guard Nelson Henry.
That's a difficult matchup, and like you said, out goes Walker, and here comes Nelson Henry.
I think he'd be grateful on that occasion as Lockett drives in. Here's Heron out in transition, and he will jam it in. He doesn't make any mistake this time either.
He's got his legs back down. Maybe they just vacated him for the first quarter, because he seems to be moving pretty well now.
He's into double figures. Oh, Wiltshire just loses the dribble. He's able to recover. Shot clock at 4 though. And it's deflected. Leicester have the steal. Good work from Nelson Henry, but came off the leg of Wiltshire and out of bounds.
Well, we don't know how much as well as coming into play. Mustafa Heron in the open floor. Easy two-handed gliding dunk finish there. Took off it pretty far too. Again, the Leicester Riders getting out on the open floor and making the Flyers pay.
Timeout call. Riders leading 37-36 here. And well, you think how freely the Flyers were scoring early on. It slowed down a little bit since then, and you know, Leicester will be more than happy just to go up and down basket for basket in this game, and you know, win by 1 at the end, and then they'll be happy, won't they?
Of course, it's the Bristol Flyers that have to go for the knockout punch, I guess, and seem to have slowed down a little bit offensively. And yeah, we don't know how much as well is to do with Teddy Okorafor was such a big part there of this Flyers offense, and especially as a facilitator too. You know, he was a pass first guard, and I think when you're comfortable playing with that person all year long, and Wiltshire had more of that.
Good defensive player as well.
Yeah. Which is you know, when you've got a Crandall and a Washington and Corey Johnson, you know, that defensive ability there to neutralise them comes in key.
A Leicester ball from the side. It was kicked out, but there's still 22 on the shot clock, so no reset. Obviously it would reset to 14. Johnson trying to quickly feed Nelson Henry. Wiltshire in the way. Washington to inbound. Johnson fires up the 3, and it's all string.
Really well executed play there. Johnson coming off that screen and was able to catch it in rhythm and let it go.
Washington's eyes transfixed on the ball. Rogers has it now, steps in for the 2 and hits.
Josh Rogers growing in confidence. I feel like he's been more productive the last stages of the season. I think it's possibly good things to come for him if he re-signs next year.
Well, here's Nelson Henry with Rogers on his back again. A trying to help. And Nelson Henry, as you say, it's a tough matchup for him.
It's a double team there as well, Dan. And all Nelson Henry's done is he stepped through and sort of split the defenders there and shot through them.
Here's Rogers trying to reply with a 3, in and out.
Well, you don't want to shoot yourself out of the game, but you're going to have guys that are ready and willing to catch and shoot the ball here. They only had 2 3-pointers the whole game of game 1. They've got 3 already, but they're 3 for 10 and to shoot the ball more efficiently.
Lee with the shot clock ticking down gets it away and hits. What a shot, with Lockett putting a hand up right in his face.
Demoralising shot there if you're the Bristol Flyers camp. And William Lee, just a absolute baller.
Well, Lockett just sort of looked at him like, are you kidding me, that went in? Here's Lockett. Lee with the rebound. Foul is on Delpesh, I think, going for the rebound.
Yeah, he was just clearing red shirts out the way there. I love the intent from Marcus Delpesh, but it was, of course, illegal, his method on that occasion. And Lockett just doesn't seem to have that same energy he did. That was only his second shot of today so far. He's 0 for 2, 2 points, and just doesn't seem to have that same aggressiveness that he had in Monday night.
Well, timeout for Coach Kapoulis. His team trailing potentially by 9 if these 2 free throws that are coming after the timeout go in, with 57 seconds to go. And, you know, it's possible they could go into the half down 10, and they've actually played reasonably well through it. They feel like just the last couple of minutes Leicester have made a few shots and suddenly got away.
It's just that consistent, methodical, professional execution from the Leicester Riders, isn't it? It's not that, you know, they try and, you know, necessarily shoot themselves in a game straight away. It's a discipline to continue to do it, and that's what they've done. They've got, you know, Corey Johnson coming off screens. They've put the ball down low to Nelson Henry. They know who they are. I think that's what separates this team, I think, from everyone else. They know who they are. They understand their strengths, and, you know, just to look at them too, they're laughing, they're smiling. I mean, yes, it's nice when you're up by 30, 40 points on aggregate, but this is a team with legitimate team chemistry, and I think that's where the Leicester Riders, you know, have the advantage over everyone else in the BBL. It's really easy as well, Dan, to high five and slap each other on the buttocks when you're winning, but when you're losing, it's really difficult, and that's where you see, or if you're in difficult periods of games as well. And I think this Leicester Riders team have you know, ridden the adversity better than most this year, and again, it's another good indication of a team that are willing to sacrifice own personal agendas for the greater good.
Inside to Rogers, who was challenged in the end by Heron. Well, you mentioned the winning. Victory here would be, as Coach Paternoster said in the interview, the 30th of the campaign for Leicester. Here's Lee knocking it down. It's been a couple of years since they got to 30. They had 29 in 2018-19 after a spell of 7 years in a row where they won at least 30 games. Here's Wiltshire for 3. And Washington from just inside the half leaves it a little bit short. Well, a good first half for the Leicester Riders. Their offense probably took a little while to get going. They needed the second chance opportunities really to get in the flow, but towards the end of that first half they were purring, and they got 49 at the interval.
Well, if you're not shooting the ball particularly well, you go after it and you hunt in packs, and that's what this Leicester Riders team have done. 14 second chance points that first half, and they've scored the ball as they always do in a number of different ways. But Mustafa Heron, I think, was the aggressor from start to finish. He's leading the scoring with 12 points, but you saw William Lee heat up there to take himself to 9 points personal, and then everyone else just doing what they do, whether that be their go-to down low in Nelson Henry, and Walker coming off the bench, causing havoc, and Corey Johnson hitting three. So it's been a very professional, I think, approach to this game so far for the Leicester Riders.
And for the Flyers, they came out pretty hot. Ben Knopford was hitting threes early on. They got 17 points in about 5 minutes, and they've kept it going to some extent, but not quite at the pace that they were doing it early on.
Yeah, it was a really encouraging start for them, but I can't help but feel, how demoralising maybe those second chance opportunities were. I think Bristol Flyers are still playing the scoreboard, where really they just want to just play high tempo, high energy, and just see what happens. And I feel like they're playing this like it's a lot closer game, and every possession matters, but they just got to put themselves an opportunity to get it close here.
Well, we're at the interval here in Worcester, and the Leicester Riders, who won the first leg by 29, lead the second leg by a further 8. It is 49-41. Ant and I will take a little pause, and we'll be back with you with the second half in about 6 or 7 minutes' time. University of Worcester Arena. We're at the half in the first of the quarter-final playoff second legs, and the Leicester Riders, who were already halfway to the semi-finals after their big win up in Newcastle in the first leg, lead the Flyers by another 8 points, so 37 in total. It's one of those where you have to do the maths pretty quickly.
I'm glad you're here, Dan.
Yeah. But let's look back at some of the action from the first half. And one thing, you know, when this guy is on the court, is he's going to be able to find his teammates. He could score for sure, but he's always going to be able to find his teammate. And he's not really scored that much, but when he makes the three, he's a tough player.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that doesn't need to score the ball to play well. And, you know, previous MVPs we've seen over the years of the Leicester Riders, Drew Sullivan, you know, Tyler Brendy, they can do that as well. And Gino Crandall does that. He starts the game off with a 3-point shot, but then since then he's been the facilitator and creator for everyone else. You know, he's got 4 assists here, but both ends of the floor. He isn't a guy who's approached this game like he's up by, you know, 30 points as well. He's flying across from the court and blocking shots, and he's been very, very positive and active influence for this Riders team so far.
And at the other end of the floor, when the Flyers got off to that good start, it was GB International Ben Mockford hitting shots. And the thing with Ben is when that first one goes in, you can't let him catch the ball, because the second one is going in too, by the way.
No, the expression, when it rains it pours. Ben Mockford is that type of player, and he's that type of talent too, where all it takes really is one shot and his confidence gets going. I mean, look at this, the degree of difficulty here. Gino Crandall's longer, taller, good defender, but doesn't matter. He shoots over him and gets it to go. But then you've got the fear in the defender. Connor Washington has to step up there, and Ben Mockford there's penetrating and creating for his teammates, and he's had a very, very good, you know, first 20 minutes of this game, Ben Mockford.
Well, noticeable how quickly Leicester came back out of the locker room. They didn't spend much time talking at half-time. And, I mean, as I say, we both know Rob pretty well, and I did speak to him before the game, and he was talking about, you know, the possibility of what happens if they come all the way back sort of thing. But with an extra 8 points, it's almost like there's not much to say at half-time in that locker room.
Well, he's pleased, isn't he? He's got to be pleased by his team's performance there. Have they been as good as they were defensively in game one? No, they probably haven't, but they've done enough. You know, it's not a team that are coasting here and just looking to clock in and clock out. You know, it's individuals making plays, but I think collectively as well, they've been good enough defensively as a unit to frustrate this Bristol Flyers team, especially in the second quarter. And, you know, his team is playing hard too. You know, the second chance points, you know, we've commented on 14. That's a team that are here to work hard, do a job, and book their ticket in the next round as soon as possible.
Well, unless we see, you know, arguably the greatest 20 minutes of British Basketball League history, the Flyers' season is 2 quarters away from coming to an end here, so they'll want to go out on a high. They'll want to, you know, play this last 20 minutes because in all likelihood they're not going to play as a unit again, because no team ever has the exact same team season from season. So just enjoy each other out there.
I think so, and I think that's got to be the message from Kapoulis, you know, at the moment as well. I mean, to be realistic, you know, it's not impossible, but like you said, Dan, it's going to be, you know, a near miracle performance here from the Flyers. So, you know, at the end of the day, basketball is still something you can have fun, and I think these players too, of all what's happened this year, you've got to be grateful that you're competing and you're playing at this level.
Heron driving in. The other thing is they can still win the game. You can end your season on a win, it still ends your season.
It'll be one of the very few teams this year that have been able to beat Leicester Riders more than once.
There's Mockford running around the screen, a bit short. Nosey trying to post up, instead he sets the screen as Lockett drives in, elevates quickly, and Delpesh tips it in.
Good attack there from Lockett. It was a line drive there to the rim, but good aggressiveness, and Delpesh there active, and Delpesh has had a really good season.
Lee for 3, knocks it down. William Lee,
another guy that's had a really good season, William Lee. Big time shot there.
Lockett with the spin off the glass.
Lockett looking a little bit more aggressive here this second half. I think he was a little bit subdued in the first, but both occasions here he's went to score the ball.
Lee's going to try another one, and he's going to find the string again.
William Lee, 11 points, 8 rebounds a game, and he's been that player that's stepped up in big occasions, and again another killer 3 from him.
Motford along the baseline with the quick scoop.
How difficult shot where he shot the ball there from his hip, and they would convert. Very nice scoop shot there.
Lee floats one in this time. He's really on fire here at the start of the second half, William Lee.
8 points for William Lee in 2 minutes of play was that, and 2 3-pointers, and then again with that 3-point threat he's really easy to blow by Lockett there, just because Lockett has to be up in his grill there to prevent him from hitting another 3.
Well, Lockett's probably their best defender as well, so they've thrown it at him, having seen him converting there, and as you say, he was able to, having made 2 shots, he's tough once he's got the ball and gone past you, because he elevates so high that nobody can get up there with him.
That's exactly that, Dan. He's a tough cover, and again, he's a guy that doesn't need to shoot 20 shots a game, and again, credit to his ability to be able to work within a team system here and a team structure. I don't know, it goes back to what you were saying as well, Dan, about having fun. I think it's really easy for the Leicester Riders to have fun here. They're up by 12 in this game. They're playing well, and credit to Coach Kapoulis here. He's called a timeout. He is coaching to the very last minute of this season, and I have to commend that, because it can't be easy. It can't be easy coming here as well, already being down near 30 points, but credit to him. He's not throwing the towel.
Oh, Crandall with the steal. He went through a lot of options in his head there, and in the end backs out. Lobbed into, nice touch pass out to Heron for 3. Motford for 3.
Oh, Ben Motford getting one to go, and you kind of hope a guy like that now can get loose and let those go if he ever gets an inch of space.
Lee had a lot of space there, threw it inside this time. Nelson Henry spinning, dumping. Johnson can't convert, well challenged by Dozy. Motford putting it on the floor this time, driving in, and he'll shoot 2.
Good aggressive move there from Ben Motford, and to dribble to that strong left hand of his into the middle. Try to scoop that hook shot over the bigger defenders in Corey Johnson and Mustafa Heron. Gets him to commit the foul.
Okay, last one.
16 points for Motford in the game. Leads his team. Randall. That's beautiful.
Good cut from Corey Johnson. Corey Johnson had a good, perfectly timed cut again with Nelson Henry the few plays before, but he wasn't able to finish, but he was on that occasion. Good mover without the basketball, Corey Johnson.
Lockett lobs it up nicely for Delpesh.
Nice play there. Delpesh has been so much more efficient and so much more devastating down low when you compare him to his performances the season before.
Heron, great pass. Nelson Henry with the score, and the foul is on Delpesh. He'll shoot an extra one.
Damn, they just look like they're having fun out there. Smiles all the way around, and nice look. Delpesh just lost sight of the basket. You've got to see both, and what I mean by that is you've got to see man and ball, and Delpesh's head was turned, and Nelson Henry took full advantage of that.
It's almost easier to shoot that for Heron, isn't it? Heron there, it's almost easier for him to shoot that, but the way they play as a team, but particularly in a position like this, it's like, no, I'm going to give it to him for a bucket instead.
Oh, it's always easier to shoot the ball, Dan.
Particularly from the elbow, right?
How many of those elbow jump shots did I give up to pass it?
I don't remember any. Here's Lee. It's Crandall. Nice. And they're just purring right now, Leicester, aren't they?
Beautiful movement there again. Corey Johnson just active, and the poor defender has to chase him all over the court because he shoots the ball so well. And Nelson Henry, just good vision, good patience, and a nice pass.
Delpesh, Wiltshire has space. Crandall diving out at him, but Wiltshire's able to knock it down.
Good shot there from Josh Wiltshire, and I have to feel for him. There's so much more responsibility on him here today. You know, he's running the point guard. He's had pressure coming at him from multiple guards, and I question how healthy Wiltshire is as well. He's been a guy who's had to miss a lot of games this year, sidelined through injury.
Here's Lockett. Looks around the screen, drives in. Dozy fakes the shot, drives in, knocked away by Crandall. They still have it, but the shot clock's low. Lockett strings it.
Lockett looks so good sometimes when he gets into that rhythm and dribble pull-off. He looks very effective, and we've seen some big games from him this year.
Crandall out to Johnson for three. He was pretty confident that was going in. He turned down court before the ball hit the net.
He was. He's got an eye for the ball right now as well, Corey Johnson, and he knows that Gio Crandall has eyes everywhere and knows who's open.
Well, you know what? I assumed that got deflected because there was nobody anywhere near it, but Crandall then said, my bad, so I'm assuming he just bounced it straight out of court.
Sometimes it's just the way it goes, and yeah, it was an uncharacteristic turnover there from Gio Crandall, but he is on 9 assists, so maybe he's just trying to force the issue and get to 10 as quickly as possible.
Well, his problem for the double-double, and possibly he's got 5 rebounds as well, will actually be the points, because he's only got 3 of them. I also suspect we won't see much of him in the fourth quarter, the way the game's going. Here's Heron trying to find some room underneath. Walker out to Lee for 3. Not this time. Johnson saves it, but Lockett is there. A little thumb up to his coach. Leicester have barely committed any fouls in this game. Gio Crandall has half of them. He's got 3. Johnson got 2 early on, and Heron the only other player to commit a foul for Leicester in the game.
Oh, no one's fouling when they're happy. Everyone's running around with a smile on their face. And the thing is, well, that this is a team that's playing defense. You know, it's not that they're lackadaisical out there on the defensive end.
Rogers for 3. That's a tough shot with William Lee diving out at you. Quick outlet to Heron. And he's going to take the triple. Stolen away. Heron gets it away, sort of, but Bristol get it back. Montford. Back to Rogers, two diving at him, but he knocks it down.
Josh Rogers, big shot there. Defenders running at him from both sides, but it didn't matter. Stayed focused and followed through, looked good.
There's Heron. Down to Walker. In the low post. Trying to find some room, and there isn't really any there. Ndombe, I think he was aiming for Delpesh. Oh, Walker's just dropped it. Oh, blocked by Lee, though. Alley-oop coming, and dropped in by Heron.
Wow, that was just the presence of William Lee there. Really strange, Delpesh. You know, he's a guy that averages 14 points a game, 8 rebounds. He's been a monster this year, but he was very hesitant there to challenge William Lee, and that hesitation brought a more tentative approach to the rim, and William Lee says thank you very much for the block shot.
Rogers overcooks that one. Oh, look at that. Oh, Lee's missed the layup.
Great pass, though, nonetheless.
Rogers driving in, running right into Mo Walker. Be a Flyers ball.
9 out of 10 players there as well. They'll put the body on the line, they'll take the flop, and they'll fall down. Mo Walker just stood there, and Josh Rogers bounces off him like a brick wall. Goodness me. Mo Walker just fall down like everyone else does and prevent Josh Rogers from getting whiplash.
Ndombe. Walker with the rebound.
That's a great rebound. Sandwiched in between two Flyers players, and big hands collected the rebound.
Down to Walker. They've doubled him well there, and he's getting called for the offensive foul.
Don't like that call, Dan. He's not ferociously flying those elbows. He's got very limited space there to move. I think as the big man, you've got a right to protect the basketball, and there's no malice there. And it's actually Delpesh's. Yes, Delpesh's used his space in his perimeter, but it's him that's infringed on the space there of the offensive player. But hey, I'm sure this that one call won't stop proceedings here.
Big man's union there. Rogers out of bounds. But you're right, because they were both so close to him, he's got the ball up in the air. He has to turn somehow, doesn't he? 3.8, sorry, on the clock in the third quarter. Walker to Anderson, and that is a well-executed out-of-bounds play by Leicester.
It really is, and that's Jamal Anderson's going to run all day anyway, we know that, but a good pass there from Walker to slot that through. The ball through there in football.
You could see the smiles on the faces all around. They were well pleased with how they ran that play. Anderson gets Walker his assist there. .1. Ndombe decides not to heave it. End of the third. It is the Leicester Riders 73, the Bristol Flyers 65. William Lee came out firing at the start of the third quarter, and it looked like Leicester might just run far away, but Josh Rogers hit some shots, and it's still right about where it was at halftime.
Yeah, for sure. It was a good response, I think, from Bristol Flyers. I think, you look midway point of that third quarter, it's could have been a white flag moment for Flyers there, couldn't it? But, Kapoulas calls a timeout and, regroups the troops here, and they've shown fighting spirit. And you're right, they've got some good production there from Josh Rogers, who shot the ball quite fearlessly, in the third quarter there. Well, they're going to need more, Dan. They're going to need more from the other players here to finish the game strong.
I suppose the interesting question as we look back over the highlights of the third quarter here is, at what point does either coach go, okay, it doesn't matter anymore, and put on the bench who've not the guys who haven't come in to the game, because the win and loss still goes on your record. So it does count, but it doesn't matter, if you know what I mean.
It's a valid question, and I tried 3 or 4 years of playing at Riders to try to figure out what was going on in Rob Tottenham's head, and I couldn't quite figure it out. So I don't know the answer to that question, Dan, but I don't know. Part of you's got to say as well, you want preservation now of the players. This is a relatively quick turnaround, remember, in the playoff structure. So what you don't want is 4 or 5 minutes to go, and one of your players has tweaked an ankle or done something that's going to impact them in later playing games. So I'm not sure. I think it's one of those dilemmas the coaches always have to wrestle with, and it's always sometimes not the right or wrong decision until hindsight comes into play.
Well, Leicester have one starter in the game at this moment in time. That's not massively unusual at this stage in the game.
Not when you've got a second unit like they have.
And actually, as Dave Forrester was pointing out on commentary 2 days ago, Connor Washington with the bench unit is a pretty effective lineup for Leicester.
Well, that Dave Forrester certainly knows a thing or two about basketball, and he's right. This unit sometimes has paralysed teams and really put them in grip holds, and again it contributes to that consistency and the ability to win week after week, which they had done, finishing the league 26-4. 24-6, excuse me.
Rogers, that's a good challenge in the end by Johnson. He didn't get a hand on it, but he certainly made Rogers change the way he was shooting it, and that'll be a Leicester ball.
What happened to the good old days when you go the whole season only losing 3 games, Dan?
Well, they don't make them like that anymore. Who did that anyway, Anne? Remind me.
Well, if you're bringing it up, Dan.
What was that, 12-13 team, was it?
12-13, yeah, 12-13, yeah. And we actually took a second string team at the end of the season there to rest some of us guys that needed it going into the playoffs. So could have done a 2-loss season maybe.
Fouls on for 3. Oh my goodness, Mo Walker knocks his man to the ground, and it's called for the offensive foul.
Sitting here in the University of Worcester Arena, I have to double check there if there's an earthquake. I felt something on the Richter scale there. Goodness me.
You applaud the effort in putting your body on the line, but rather you than me. I think it's fair to say with Mo Walker about. Dombe just keeps it in play. Lockett trying to lob it in. Delpash loses the handle. Walker comes up with it. Oh, and then drops it away from Washington. Rogers for 3.
Oh, why not? He's earned the right to shoot that ball, and he stepped into it too. He would have been feeling pretty good about that shot.
Over the timeline, finds fouls on. Anderson.
Washington kicks out. Johnson misses the 3.
It's a good play there. They didn't convert, but you've got the handoff there, sort of the wheel action at the top, and then the screen from the big, which then penetration from Connor Washington, with Corey Johnson, as we know, would hit that open 3 with his eyes closed.
Nice pass out to Thomas Edwards. Mine Dunby for 3. Let's said the better about that one.
Yeah, and Mine Dunby's had his role increased quite dramatically over recent weeks with Teddy Okorafor being injured, and I felt like at times he's rose to the occasion. He's got experience in the BBL, which of course helps.
Johnson off the mark. 0-0 here in the fourth. Lockett trying to find some room.
Good defense again by Corey Johnson, just staying strong and contesting the shot.
Johnson around the screen, back to Washington. And finally some points on the board here.
The movement is still so good. This Riders offense, you saw their guys without the basketball moving, and then you've got a good screen there and roll. And then Connor just relocates and the defender goes down. Got hit by a sniper or something. I don't know, he just hit the deck, and Connor Washington will open three-pointers, pretty good at that. That's that down.
One of the best in the league, wide open catch and shoot. Lockett across to Wiltshire for three. This is short. Johnson to Anderson, down to Walker. Spinning along the baseline, going the long way round. Oh, just a little short.
Sometimes when you've got a player that's coming back from injury, it's okay, because naturally there's going to be rust there, but I think what the encouraging thing is, he's able to make those moves to get himself in that fortunate or advantageous position to score the ball. And that touch will resume.
Baker just like that little turn around, fall away.
Yeah, he's been a good addition for this Flyers team. I think he's just been that professional experience that perhaps they've needed at times.
Shot clock wasn't running.
Wow, we've got to give a mention to the guys in purple here, the referees. They've had just as long and strenuous as a season as everyone else involved, and it's got to be a nice game for them, this one. A lower pressure and less screams at them, and coaches maybe not as irate as typical. This is a nice shift, I think, if you get this one.
Probably is. A little easier to navigate than Plymouth against Worcester last night. Inside, well, attempted to. Lockett was in the way.
Referees saying to the next group of referees, good luck next.
It was Washington getting fouled by Wiltshire.
Possession for the Riders.
Washington creates some room for the shot, misses it though. Lockett with the rebound. Just over 5 to play here in the fourth quarter. Leicester on their way to the semi-finals of the playoffs. Winners in the last 3 editions of the BBL playoffs. Obviously there wasn't a playoff last year with the season ending prematurely. No team has won 4 playoff titles in a row. Here's Anderson to the lay-in.
Again, a nice pass from Walker. The open floor, Anderson thinks that's a 5-2 for this quarter, so it's been a low-octane quarter in terms of scoring the ball in the fourth quarter, but Jamel and Anderson in the open floor, you'll put your money on him to convert.
Well, the one thing you know, if you're a Leicester player, is if you get the rebound or you're the first outlet pass, if you're the guard, and Jamel is on the court, he'll be down the other end, so always have a look, because he gets out quick. And, his 2-point field goal shooting percentage is is pretty good because most of them are dunks and fast break layups.
Yeah, for sure, and he doesn't take bad shots either, but I think it comes down to his, well, he's got a good basketball IQ, but it's just his engine. It's one of the best I've seen in the game. You know, it's kind of a shame in the sense that he didn't play NCAA basketball because he is just perfect for that. The intensity and the ability to just go, you know, hell for leather for as long as you possibly can. And Jamal Adams is one of these guys too that I remember being at practice, we'd have to run for punishment sprints, and he'd have like a quarter smile on his face, like he was enjoying it. You kind of wanted to slap Jamal in the face because the rest of us are, trying to get every ounce of oxygen in our bodies to run the next sprint. But him and Connor were like that. Connor Washington, and this was going back, 4, 5, 6 years ago. You know, they were incredible athletes. They still are.
It's probably 10 years ago, mate. You're getting old now. Those 4-5s are a bit further away than you think. Baker for 3.
It was colour television, Dan. That's all that matters.
Didn't you retire 4 years ago? You weren't running sprints then. Lobbed in to Walker. Good pass.
Nice work there. And again, I think it's good for Walker to play with these guards. He hasn't had as much practice as Nelson Henry or Ali Frazier, so it's good, sometimes it's good to get a feel for them, and that's for the guards as well to understand where Walker's going to be on the court.
Mockford, nice shot. The other thing about Mo Walker is obviously Leicester are going to have at least 2 more games this season. The pre-game interview from Rob Paternoster made it sound as if Fraser wasn't likely to participate in those with the foot injury that he has. So these extra reps for Mo Walker certainly very helpful indeed.
Yeah, it is in so many ways for him personally to get integrated into this team, but also for the team as well. They've essentially found a new source of offense here that very few people in the league have.
Wiltshire knocks down 3. Yeah, it's pretty rare that you get to the playoffs and suddenly you've got this 6'10" beast inside. Just, oh yeah, have him as well.
It's true. It's not too many of them knocking around in the world of basketball, let alone the BBL. And again, the way he's responded and been able to just play like he hasn't been out for 2 seasons is quite remarkable.
Anderson hits the triple. Wiltshire driving in, and good finish. He's the sort of guy that can make those sort of awkward, off-balance looking shots.
Yeah, he is. He's not the biggest or more athletic guy, but yeah, he could be one of the best scorers on the court at any one time.
Connor Washington approaching the last couple of minutes of this ball game, and unless something strange happens here, it looks like Leicester are going to, well, maybe not. I was about to say win both legs. They still have a 10-point lead. And for Bristol, their season about to come to an end. Obviously, they squeezed into the playoffs right at the end, and their home form this year has probably been their issue. Nice pass and a jam in from Walker. Just 4 home wins, 4 and 11 in league play. Only Glasgow had a worse home record, and you feel that place with no people in, massive difference.
Yeah, you talk about, yes, everyone's going to play the same way, no fans, etc. But I think Flyers, it really was that advantage. The SGS, it was just one of those environments there that those Southwest fans just got involved and they really got integrated into the game. And it's a one-sided arena there, but it's like the noise bounced off the other wall and it would hit you as a player on court. And I think the sooner that they can get that back, I think it's going to help them. But yeah, it was certainly an issue for them this year.
No, I don't think Baker wanted any part of that matchup. They just grabbed him.
It's a veteran move right there.
Yeah. Well, both coaches putting their younger players into the game. As Headley, Wild will inbound from the end line. Jimmy also in for the Flyers. And Brown. Block it. Get that shot up. And Jimmy for three. Get too many minutes in the season when you get out there in a chance like this. Don't die waiting.
Oh, it's if I get the ball, it was within range. I'm putting it up.
Mo Walker on the pick and roll finishes the lay-in, and he will shoot a bonus.
Oh, you can tell Mo Walker enjoying these minutes. He's getting to play here. Takes in the 10 points personal. Nice finish with the left, and that occasion glides through the middle. A bit more of a finesse finish there from Walker.
Well, 92 points for Leicester in the ball game, following on their 85 in the first leg. And it's a lot of points over 2 legs. So really haven't been able to consistently stop them. It was the first 2 quarters of the first leg, they kept them to 36, but other than that, well, Leicester will dribble it out and they will advance. And of course, all the games remaining are at the Morningside Arena. The Leicester Riders will be there for the semi-finals. They are the first team to punch their ticket, and they have won both legs comfortably here against the Bristol Flyers to advance the league champions.
Yeah, all but the first 20 minutes, as you said down in the first leg. I felt like Bristol Flyers were right there and they were playing playoff basketball. The second 20 minutes of that game one, the Leicester Riders really showed their class. You know, they shot the ball well, they made things incredibly difficult for the Flyers offense and put that real, defensive workshop on them. And as we alluded to this game, it's been a professional performance for them from start to finish. Their point guard and MVP candidate Gino Crando has 3 points. He didn't need to score the ball like he did the previous game where he had 21, but he has 11 assists here and 5 rebounds. And he was supported by Heron with 16, William Lee with 17, Corey Johnson, and let's not forget Mo Walker here growing in confidence with 11 points and 9 rebounds.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably their perfect performance for Rob Paternostro, wasn't it? Everybody does a little bit of something. Nobody gets overly exerted, and you win the game by 30.
For sure, and it wasn't a case as well where these teams were coasting. They still, they were still hungry. The second chance points we saw in the first half, and then the stops that they had on defense as well, creating, forcing Bristol Flyers into turnovers as well. I thought they were, still the team that were hungry and looking to put a good performance in, and that's what they did.
And for the Flyers, well, disappointing end to the season for them. As we say, it's been a bit of a challenge, and I'm sure Coach Papoulis will be looking forward to a day or two off before he reflects back on the campaign as a whole.
Yeah, it will be very frustrating, but first and foremost, hats off to Coach Kapoulis, who was coaching to the final second of that game, and his players as well. Very difficult environment to play in today, but you had really encouraging performances from Ben Mockford. If he's looking to play in the BBL again next year, I'm sure that Bristol Flyers, along with a few other teams, will be looking to acquire his services. And I think Josh Wiltshire as well showed us what he could do there in that second half. And Del Pesh, 13 points for him, 6 rebounds today. He has been one of the most improved players from previous seasons.
Well, let's get some reaction from the Leicester camp with their leading scorer, William Lee. William, obviously a different situation coming in with a 29-point lead, but you guys just went out there to win this game over 40 minutes.
Yeah, it took a lot of focus. The guys came in, and we talked about it in the locker room. We just got to focus and take care of business, and that's what we did on the court tonight.
And from a personal point of view, in that third quarter, knocking down some shots, hitting those 3, that must have felt good.
Yeah, man, it felt pretty good. That's what we work on. We said we were going to run that play over and over and over until they stopped it, and they never stopped it. And I had a hot hand. Gino kept finding me. I was making shots, so that was the game plan pretty much.
And how pleased are the team to see Mo Walker back out there on court and over these 2 legs having a really great impact on the game?
Yeah, Mo's a great guy on and off the court. it's a great feeling to see him on the court because I know he's going to be that defensive person, and he's a bucket as well, so he can get a bucket anytime he feels like it.
And through now to the semi-finals. Obviously, we don't know yet who you're going to play, but you'll be ready for anybody.
Yeah, you know we're ready. We're at the top of the league for a reason, and it took a lot of focus and commitment to be at the top of the league, and we're the best team in the league, and we want anybody, so it really doesn't matter.
Well, good luck in the next round. We'll see you in Leicester next week.
Thank you.
Well, he was fantastic. He's been fantastic all season. I mean, he's a highlight reel waiting to happen. But today we also saw the shooting. I mean, he's a tremendous 17-foot jump shooter, isn't he? But he can go all the way out to the three-point line like we saw today.
Typically, when you get a player like him, you know, they're long, they're athletic, they can shoot the ball relatively well. Not that they're all front runners, but typically they'll get a lot of those points around because they have the ability to do that. But William Lee, I think, you know, when the game's on the line or when there's a period where the Leicester Riders need something, he seems to come up big. You know, whether that be offensively with inside-outside games or whether that be on the defensive end. Let's not forget he's made some incredible defensive plays. You know, whether that's coming from the weak side blocking shots or just playing really good one-on-one defense. But William Lee perhaps hasn't been talked about enough this year, and he's been a huge piece of the puzzle.
He certainly has been a very big part of a very successful team, this Leicester Riders, as we say, winning their 30th game of the season. That is quite a landmark for any team, and I think we can get some reaction now from their coach Rob Paternostre. Rob, congratulations on reaching the semi-finals. I mean, that was pretty comfortable for you as a coach. I should imagine you were in the lead for most of it. No dramas along the way?
No, I thought we did a good job with it. First 5 minutes or so, you know, came out a little slow, but after that I thought we played good, solid game. Always weird with these leads like that. Always feels strange on the sideline. But I thought the guys handled themselves well. It was a real balanced attack from our guys today. When you look at the stat sheet, I think we had 6 guys in double figures and 1 with 9. So the points were spread, and the good thing is we didn't have to play a lot of minutes.
Well, I was about to get to that. How good it must feel going into a semi-final, having seen lots of different guys making shots. Lee in the third quarter, Mo Walker obviously over the 2 legs, coming from the injury and really putting in a shift for the team.
Yeah, I thought William Lee was excellent today. He's been excellent all season, really. He's a great player. He does what the team needs. If you need him to score, he will. If you need him to defend, he will. He passes the ball well. Just a real glue guy that done a good job. And, yeah, you said Mo. This is a good game for him today. Got a lot of minutes, was able to get his conditioning going, and he's a real handful inside. But I really like the approach from our team. I've liked it all season. And I think that's why we won the league, because these guys come out and they mean business, and I think today they did that.
And 30 wins and an impressive landmark in any season, but you'll be hoping for 3 more.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that's the goal now. This has, been a great season, and we'd love to cap it off right. We know we're going to have a challenge in the semifinals, but I think now, as we head away, we got to rest here. You know, it's been a long week of travel and everything, so we got to get rested up and get ready for another 2 legs.
Thanks a lot for talking to us, Rob. We'll see you in the semifinals next week.
See ya.
Well, I mean, you know what he's like on the sideline, Rob. That would have been the perfect game, really, for him. No, nothing too much to be worried about. No stresses, and you can just, almost enjoy it.
Yeah, but he's one of these coaches that the job done is done now. Like, he's already on to the next one, preparing for the next team. You know, he doesn't know who that's going to be yet, but he'll be eagle eyes on the remaining BBL quarter-final fixtures.
Well, a very comfortable display for the Leicester Riders. The number 1 seeds are through. They've won both legs. The first one by 29, the second one by 13, which I believe is a total of 42 points on aggregate, which is a very healthy win and probably going to be the biggest of these playoffs, I should imagine, given the way the other 3 are in the balance. And Leicester, I'm sure, will want to get back home quick. And of course, because the games are in Leicester, they will have the advantage, at least, of being in their own beds and being set for it and not having to do all the traveling and go to the hotels that they've had to do over the last week.
Yeah, you named a few factors there that could be an advantage for them, and they deserve it, Dan. They finished top of the league, and in my opinion, they've earned the right there to host semi-finals and finals as well. So I think anyone that comments or wants to comment on the fairness or the level of fairness there, at the end of the day, that the fans are still not there. So that's a huge factor when you talk about home court advantage. I think we've seen it with the Bristol Flyers. You put the fans in there, they're a different team.
Well, let's hear from the Bristol Flyers coach. Andreas Kapoulas joins us. Andreas, what did you make of that game today?
Well, we just wanted to go out and compete. It's difficult when you're coming to a game where you've lost by 29 in the previous, and I felt for most of the game we did a pretty good job. We stayed with them. Obviously, Leicester are a very good basketball team. I'm just, as I said to the guys, it has been a very challenging year. So for us to make it to the playoffs with the different type of things that we had to deal with, and I'm not just talking about COVID, I think it's an achievement. And it was always going to be difficult with Leicester. Credit to the players for getting us here. And today, it was just about pride. And, I'm pleased with how the guys went about their business.
And just reflecting on the season for a moment, we were talking about your home record and actually how you guys probably missed the fans almost more than anybody else, because it's such a raucous atmosphere, and how that has helped you on in years gone by. Did you feel that this season?
100%. At home, always the crowd are our sixth man, and our home record across the years that we've been in the BBL has always been positive, and this year we haven't been able to close out a lot of games, and certainly spectators have been a big part of that. It has been a difficult year. All the teams had to deal with this, but I think our place might be one of the smallest places in the league, but certainly one of the loudest, and we cannot have another season without that. So we're hoping September, October time we'll have our fans back for sure, and we'll see how we go from there, really. But I think the last thing to say with this is I think credit to the league for keeping us play, because when I was looking back in September, October, you're thinking we will be able to keep on going till December perhaps, and here we are at the end of the season, and to finish it with something like May Madness, I think it's awesome for the league. It's great to do it, and I want to also give my congratulations to Leicester. They played a very good two-game series. They've been the most consistent team across the season as well.
Thank you very much, Andreas. Enjoy your summer. We'll see you next season.
Thank you very much, Dan. Much appreciated. You too.
Well, it's the first of the quarterfinals in the books, but we're not very far away from the next one. 7 points separate these two teams from the first leg, the London Lions and the Cheshire Phoenix. We will be back with you at 7:23 ahead of tip-off at 7:30. Make sure you join Ant and I for that. We'll be back very soon with more playoff action. But for now, goodbye.
Gotta keep the flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't none of that. Going till there ain't none. Keep the flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't none of that. Going till there ain't none. Keep the flame on that. Going till there ain't